Hello, I'm Suzanne from Making It in Maine, in case you don't already know me. And if you don't, welcome to my channel, which is about how I am making it in Maine, and mostly how I am making things with my hands. That's predominantly what I talk about on this channel. I had intentions for other things, interviews with other makers and that sort of thing, but that hasn't been a big part of the channel thus far. Anywho, if you are returning to my channel, thank you so much. So happy you're here again. I'm going to begin today's video with something rather unconventional, and that's talking about my earrings. I had my hair cut the other day, and my hairstylist had some earrings on display selling for another handcrafter, and I fell in love with them. It's a little crocheted granny square earring. I loved this color combination. Though I don't wear a lot of pink, but I loved the square, the granny square, and I loved this color combination. So I put on this dress. This dress is very unflattering on me because it's very much like a muumuu. I didn't buy it because I thought it was flattering on me. I bought it because of the colors. I adore these colors together. And when my daughter was a toddler, I had a striped bathing suit of these colors. And I don't know what it is. It's like raspberry and orange sherbet. So I think I bought it thinking that I could somehow alter it so it was more flattering. And I only put it on just now, today, because it's all I have that matches my earrings, sort of. Oh, well. Anyway, this morning when I was thinking about this dress and thinking that I'm going to deconstruct it and try to make something else out of it. All right, enough about these earrings and this dress, but let me show you the other pair of crocheted earrings I bought. These beautiful black ones. So I have, a few black dresses and such, so I will wear these with those clothes. All right, now let's get back on to what I am making. I have a couple of finishes to show you. One is quilted and one is a sweater. So let me show you those. I finished sewing the binding, hand sewing the binding on the back of this little quilt, which I call Joe's stars in the cabins, or it could be stars amongst the logs. Anyway, it's done. So yippee skippy for that. Before I show you the sweater that I finished, let me show you what I may start hand quilting next. It's the larger version of the stars. So I don't know why I ended up with two. I'm going to have to go back and look in my binder of the Joe's Little Women Club patterns that I have and see if there were two quilts in that in that club or if I had extra blocks and made a smaller. I just don't remember. Anyway, so this may be what I hand quilt next. I'm not sure. Heaven knows I have plenty to choose from because I have so many whips, or yeah, they're not so much, I don't know, would you call it a whip or an unfinished object if it's just something that needs quilting? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you would call it. Seems like they could be called either. All right, let me set these aside. And let me show you the sweater, and then I've got to get back to crochet for a minute. Okay, this little sweater that I'm about to show you, it's a size 18 months. And I started this when my granddaughter was a toddler, a wee girl, and I don't know why I stopped. Sometimes I don't ever know why I stop a project, but anyway, it's done, and there's something I feel must be a boo-boo. I don't know if I'll show you or not. Anyway, this is the little sweater. It's called, yes, wait just a minute. The pattern is here. Oh, if you go back and look at my video, I don't remember what number it is, video where I was talking about my knitting projects and stuff, you will see this. At that time, I just had the back and the front done and had just started a sleeve, though they were started years ago. So here's the pattern. It is called a Victorian t-shirt. So anyway, it's sweet. I especially love the scallopy, lacy bottom of it. Super pretty. I still do need to, maybe I shouldn't have called it a finish, because I still need to sew buttons on it for the buttonholes at the top of each sleeve. Pardon me. Because I started this so long ago, yeah, I think I messed up on the joining of the sleeves because they don't look the same to me. But I don't think, you know, if a little girl has it on, I don't know that anybody's going to be paying attention to the, see that one versus this one. They just don't look the same. I don't know what I'll do with it. Certainly wouldn't fit my granddaughter anymore, and I don't have any wee ones coming up in the family. So I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll probably just, oh look. I'll probably just, let me tuck that away. You didn't see that. Pretend you didn't see that. Just tuck it away. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some wee one down the road that I can give it to. All right, back to these crocheted earrings for just a minute. It was so coincidental. The night before I went to get my hair cut and saw these earrings, because I had finished that little sweater, because I wasn't currently hand quilting anything, I was working on this. I'm sure you can't begin to imagine what it is, because when I tell you what it's supposed to be, you'll scratch your head and say, how on earth could that become that? Anyway, here's the lovely yarn. And I don't do a lot of crochet, and I love making little things, little sweaters, little quilts. They're sweet. They finish faster than big things, so that's why I like working on little things. So here is what it is. Just a second here. It's a baby squared up jacket. So it's just open in the front. And that's how it looks in the front. And that's how it looks in the back. Boggles my mind as to how something so unsquare or unoctagonal is going to end up like that. But it does in fact say it in the pattern that it won't make sense how it's supposed to be wonky like that, is what I'm trying to say. So that's it about crochet, knit, finished things. So I was texting with a long distance friend of mine. I call her a friend, though we've never met. So she was showing me a picture of a Halloween quilt she is working on. And I've never made a Halloween quilt. I actually do have a block or two, but I didn't go further than that. Oh my God, can you imagine that? Suzanne starting something and not going further? Okay, so anywho, I think I will go get that to show you, actually. Hold your horses. Here is the only block, the only Halloween block I have ever done. The only Halloween piecing, quilting I've ever done. I have, I guess you'd call it a panel. I had a panel of that fabric, and I thought I would love to make different blocks with those. I'll show you them. I just thought it was the sweetest little vintage Halloween fabric. I've got to unearth it from my box of Halloween fabrics here. I don't buy much black fabric, and I may need this. I'm going to keep it out. All right, still unearthing here. Bear with me. Wow, I bought quite a bit of this. Yes, I bought a lot of this. Who knows how many yards this is? But I just thought it was super duper sweet Halloween images. I'm not into gory, ghoulish Halloween. Halloween has never been a favorite holiday of mine. Even as a kid, I wasn't that crazy about Halloween. The masks always made my face sweaty because they were plastic masks, and yeah, just wasn't a favorite holiday of mine. And yeah, and now I don't like the idea of giving candy out that rots people's teeth, causes addiction, and yeah, is just generally not good for people. It's just me. It's just me. If you like Halloween, that's wonderful. We're all different. So anyway, super sweet fabric. Look how much I bought. Guess I better get going on a Halloween quilt, eh? All right. Back several years ago, when I did still turn the lights on and have people come trick-or-treating. Typically it was sorry, I have an itchy nose. typically it was my husband's nieces and nephews and then their children. But when I was opening the house to them, I made little Halloween goodie bags and filled them with healthier things or non-yucky food things. I had a few vintage ones, which are my favorite, with a little vintage Halloween fabric. This one is not vintagey, but anyway, you get the gist of it. Let's see if I can find another vintagey print I used. No, that's the cat. Oh, here's another one. Here's another vintagey one. Super sweet. Anyway, that's where I am. Oh, and I have another bag in the works with this cute, also vintage Halloween print. And I'll just, digging out all kinds of Halloween things here. I dabbled in needle felting. Didn't do a lot of it. Oh, pardon me. I didn't do a lot of it, but here is one of my attempts at it. Needle felted pumpkin ornament thingy. And this I did years and years ago. I did a few of these when I was still teaching. That's when I was making these little pumpkin necklaces. So you could fill it with whatever, a little goodie or whatever you wanted. Whoopsies. So anyway, there's my little pumpkin necklace. Let's see. So now I digressed to show you all that stuff, to show you this. The little pumpkin necklace comes from this book, Kindred Spirits. I think I have other things by Kindred Spirits, but the friend who, I did make a bracelet for my granddaughter several years ago. I made her a little pumpkin bracelet. I still have it here because it got left here when she and my daughter moved. But oh, such cuteness in here. I'll show you. Here's some of the projects. And go to the back page. There's some more projects. And that's what's on the back. I actually have a pumpkin ornament upstairs. Trying not to overdo it with my ankle. So I'm not going to trek up the stairs again. But anyway, that necklace comes from there. Alrighty, back to what led me down that rabbit hole with you. Back to my long distance friend and back to the quilt top, unfinished quilt top, wall size quilt that I have been needing to finish for a very long time. It was, you know, the quilt top is so close. I thought, good heavens, get that out and move it forward. All right, I'm just gonna pull a few pins here and a needle. All right. I'm covering the cat's nose because I added that and it's hideous. All right, I had not added on the pumpkin stems. All right, there's the ugly nose that I have to take off. I thought if I did a black nose, it wouldn't show up much. So I thought, well, maybe gray, but it looks horrible. And I think maybe it needs to be higher too. I don't know. And there's the third pumpkin. This pumpkin stem, I think that's the third one I stitched on because the others weren't showing up enough. There wasn't enough contrast. All right, let me show you the whole thing. I think I've shown this before in one of my other videos. So there it is. I just need to now land on an appropriate cat nose. And I just pulled this out of my Halloween fabric, so I don't know. Maybe I could use that for the cat's nose, though it doesn't, I don't know. I'll have to try it. Try. Yeah, so there it is. And the cat needs eyes, and the pattern calls for buttons for eyes. So I looked through my buttons, and I could go with, it's going to be pretty hard to show you that because my finger's going to be in the way. Let me see if I can show you this way. All right. Whoop doody. As my mom would say, bear with me. All right, so I could do yellow eyes. Let me try to get another pin in. Okay, bear with me again. I haven't decided on the color yet of the eyes. I don't know if they should be, oh Lordy. Are you ready to turn the channel? Okay. Obviously they're not placed correctly, but that one's too far away. But I could have yellow eyes, or I could, let me see if I can relocate that pin. Or I could do white eyes, but I think the white is too stark. I think I'm leaning toward the golden eyes. What do you think? Yeah, that's way too stark. All right, so that's that. The eyes and the whiskers are supposed to be felted wool strips. That's what I want to say, wool strips. So I've got two different colors here because I wasn't sure. Yeah, I think that one's too wide. So I will go with these skinnier. So those are the whiskers. How's this for a demonstration? Whoops. All right, enough foolishness. So that's what I have to do with my cat before I can start the dreaded figuring out how to quilt it dilemma. Okay, let me get these pins out of here, and I'll show you the book that this pattern comes from. And I don't know if I have shown this before. This is Peace and Plenty by Joined at the Hip. I'll show you the projects in here. There's 2 of them. Okay, let's see. There's 2 more. See, they did use white. I don't know. Let me know what you think. The gold eyes or the white eyes. I just feel like they stick out like a sore thumb. So let me know what you think. And how about the nose? What color nose should I do? That one's kind of a rust colored nose. That might be what I need to go with. Yeah. Please let me know in the comments. Okay, there's my better move those. Oh wow. Very interesting. Huh. Look what I cut out for the top of one of the pumpkins. This, I guess I must have decided it didn't fit with the pumpkins. But here are the other projects on this page. And there's a lot of projects in this book. And here's this page. And yeah, that's it. Oh no, I take that back. Take that back. Here is the inside of the back cover. All right, that's where my cat and pumpkin project comes from, this book. Phew, it is warm in here today. Let me see. Progress on my pink and brown basket. Someone in the comments, thank you kindly, I can't remember who, but she said she thought I should have 3 posies in some of my baskets, and I completely agree, and that's how they were in the pattern, and I had 3 in some of the baskets at one point, and why I took them out, I don't know. But thank you for making that comment, and I think I was sort of leaning in that direction anyway, because it just didn't look good with all of them only having 2. So this one I am doing needle turn applique on it. All of my other posies I did using the Perfect Circles, Karen K. Buckley's Perfect Circles, and and I was doing them so wrong. I didn't refresh my memory by reading the directions. I didn't refresh my memory by looking on YouTube for her little video. I will put the video in the description box for her tutorial on using these circles. I wasn't threading, doing a running stitch around the edge, the border, whatever of my circle, and was just trying to use the iron to mash it around the circle instead of pulling the string to bring the yo-yo together, yo-yo posy together. So, oh my word, I made it so much harder on myself, pain and torture. So anyway, because I found that so painful, I thought, my goodness, let me just do needle turn applique circles like I've done so many times before. All the circles on this quilt, which only needs to be quilted, I need a backing for it, but all of the circles on here were done needle turn applique style, which is why I thought, let me just do these. It's far less torture than using the stinky starch and trying to mash my iron around those small circles. I actually filmed yesterday, but I was filming the process of me doing, or the process of me using these circles incorrectly. And last night when I was editing, I thought, why on earth do I want to put in this lengthy demo of me doing something incorrectly? Ooh la la. That's why I'm filming again today. But when I was editing that video last night, it dawned on me, because I had thought the needle turn applique would be easier than using these circles. But then I decided to go and look for the video that first turned me on to buying these, which was a Karen K. Buckley demo. And then I could see how much easier it was. So, though I don't like using stinky starch, another lovely viewer in a previous video mentioned or suggested that I try using Mary Ellen's Best Press, and I have used her unscented spray in the past. I just didn't buy any more because I didn't feel like spending the money on it. Don't starch, don't need it. So I didn't buy any more. But now I see the value in these little circles and how much easier it is to make a lovely circle. And, needle turn, I adore needle turn applique, but doing little circles is very fiddly. So this makes doing a circle so much better. Anywho, here's where I'm at. I need to sew that one on. I need to sew that one on. And this one and that one. And I think that will probably be it for 3 circles. And, I tried to find the lightest browns I had. Some of them, might still be a little too dark. Like that one is kind of dark. I might take that one off. That one is a bit dark around it, but I at this point I'm just going to go with it. So that's what I need to do on this. And you might be wondering where I'm at with my Alaska quilt. I mentioned in a previous video that I wasn't going to trim any of my blocks. Could be the craziest decision I've ever made. It may go down in history as being the craziest decision I've ever made. Excuse me, but I have all but 2 sections joined. This is rows 1, 2, and 3. Not going to be able to show you properly, but I've got those 3 sewn together. Here's 1 through 4. So I just need to do the seams to join these 2 sections. But when I had it laid out on the living room floor recently to see how it looked, I could see there were some terrible puckers. I will put the photo in so you can see, and in the photo I have a red line showing where I have my last seam, and I also drew a couple of circles around the spots that are so puckery. And those were the only puckers I saw right then, but I'm sure there will be more puckers. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge for me. But that's okay. I can do it. Where's my muscle? Oh, there it is. I can do it. I can do it. I'll just do my best. That's all any of us can do, right? Is our best. I don't know what my next hand quilting project is going to be. I'm just enjoying doing small things at the moment. Easy hand quilting that doesn't require a lot of thought. And this is possibly another one I will do. This is very old. It's been in this state for a long time, but this would be super easy, not requiring a lot of thought, just going down the center of each half square triangle block. This is all Joe Morton fabric. And I'm going to do what I did with the little stars in the cabins. I'm just going to put muslin on the back of here and quilt away. And for the larger stars in the cabins, I'm going to just put a plain fabric on the back of that. Because it's so much bigger than the little 4-block one, I'm going to put, I don't want to put this on the back. It's too light, in my opinion, for the back. So I might just try to find a tan or a solid gold or something. I don't know what, because I love being able to see the quilting stitches on the back, and sometimes you lose it with a patterned fabric on the back. And I just don't want to, back in the day, and that's not to say I'll never do it again, but back in the day, I used to use, lovely quilting fabric on the back of my quilts. And, I'm nearing retirement, and I don't know what my financial situation will be going forward, so I don't want to waste lovely, beautiful fabric on the back of the quilt if I can put a less expensive fabric on the back. That's my thought. That's my thinking. Well, dear ones, I hope that you are moving things along in your sewing or craft room. I hope that your summer is going well. And yeah, until I see you the next time, dear ones, from my heart to yours, bye for now.